Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here, and to continue with my month-long October Halloween-A-thon, I'm going to bring you guys my review of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And as many of you know, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is regarded by many as the black sheep of the Halloween franchise. It is the Michael Myers-less Halloween. And as many of you also know, I love black sheep movies when it comes to these franchises. I'm a huge lover and defender of Friday the 13th Part 5, as I'm sure pretty much all of you know. And I love Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is no exception. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was born of this idea, which on paper sounds very lucrative, very smart, just foolproof moneymaker. Basically, they had intended to release annually around Halloween time a Halloween-themed movie. And if that specific year's Halloween-themed movie was a success, they could spin off sequels on it and just, you'd have Halloween-themed movies out the years. Now, for that idea to have worked with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, A, you shouldn't have called it Halloween 3, and B, you shouldn't have done Halloween 2. Of course, Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, huge success, just a classic all around. We all know about Halloween. They followed it up with Halloween 2 a few years later. Again, big success, followed the same storyline, the same characters, big success. Halloween 3, they go in a totally different direction. Whereas Halloween and Halloween 2 were slasher movies, Halloween 3 is a science fiction film. Whereas Tommy Lee Wallace, himself the writer and director of Halloween 3, calls it a pod movie. Well, they marketed it as a Halloween sequel. They gave it the number Halloween 3 as if it followed the same storyline as Halloween and Halloween 2. Needless to say, fans walked out of that movie and they were pissed. And I can totally understand why. Totally understand why, based on the popularity of Halloween and Halloween 2 with the same characters and the same storyline. Halloween 3 about Celtic, a Celtic warlock trying to murder the world's children by wearing these wacky masks and this wacky music and this wacky storyline. And what is going on? I can totally see people walking out of that movie and being totally pissed off. The first time I saw Halloween 3 as a kid, expecting Michael Myers, not getting Michael Myers, I felt like, what is going on? Why? What was the thinking behind Halloween 3? But, and as with a lot of cult movies, Halloween 3 over the years has definitely found an audience. And I think its cult status really culminated last year with just the awesome Scream Factory Blu-ray release of that film, which if you don't own and you're a fan of Halloween 3, it's a must. But Halloween 3 is the story of a doctor by the name of Dr. Chalice, played by Tom Atkins. And one night, a crazed guy comes into the hospital where he's working. He's grasping a mask. He's talking about they're going to kill us all. They're going to end the world, blah, blah, blah. It's ranting and raving. Not long after that, a gentleman walks into the hospital, murders this man. Tom Atkins' character follows him out into the parking lot where he gets into his car, pours gasoline on himself, and sets himself ablaze. A couple of days later, the murder victim's daughter shows up at the hospital looking for answers. Dr. Chalice decides to abandon his wife and children to go cross-country with this beautiful young woman in search of answers. This search leads them to Santa Mira, California, and the Silver Shamrock Mask Company, where we meet Connell Cochran, played by Dan O'Herlihy, who is a warlock of some sort, linked to the Druids, to Celtic stuff. Really, that's kind of a cool aspect of the movie because it sort of links Halloween back to Halloween's origins. But he's wanting to he wants to kill all the world's children by having them wear these masks that are just all the rave. You've got a witch mask, a skull mask, and a pumpkin mask that just all the kids want. Once they're triggered by this just, oh my God, song, then they will kill the world's children and whoever is in the room with them. And that is the storyline behind Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And I just want to say this. I love it. I love Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I love the characters. I love the acting. I love the look of the movie. I love the cinematography of the movie. I love the music in the movie. I mean, so many things when I think of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch just flood to mind. Of course, the song, 3 more days to Halloween, Halloween. You know, you watch that movie once, that song is just burnt into your psyche. You cannot forget that song. Tom Atkins' character, as I said, Dan O'Herlihy's character, the masks, the sequence of the kid's head bursting open and snakes and insects and all sorts of creepy crawlies crawling out of there. The look of the film, the cinematography from Dean Cundy, it's pretty much the same crew that had done Halloween and Halloween 2 came over to do Halloween 3. So the look of the film, the atmosphere, the cinematography is spot on with the Halloween season. It's not a perfect movie. It's definitely not the world's greatest movie. It is kind of silly. It is a little wacky. It is a little over the top sometimes. But it's got a lot of really strong moments in it. And it's just overall so much fun and so entertaining. It's a Halloween film that I certainly reach for and admire far more than several of the movies that followed it, that follow the classic Halloween storyline that have Michael Myers in them. When you think of Halloween 3 as a standalone film, and this has always been the defense for the film, if it wasn't called Halloween 3, if it had just been called Season of the Witch, it may have been a big hit back in the day. It may have been regarded better. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so. And that's no knock against the film. I think the fact that it is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and it's the black sheep of the franchise, it's why it has such a strong cult following and why I'm talking about it now and why Scream Factory released that awesome Blu-ray of it. A release that trumps any release of the original Halloween. I said that back when I first reviewed the Scream Factory Blu-ray of Halloween 3. I still stand by that. That release trumps any release of the original Halloween film. But I don't think it would have been a huge success if it had just been called Season of the Witch. It may have a bit of a cult following as sort of one of those movies that flew under the radar and was, over the top and silly and kind of really, very much of its time, of that era in the 80s. It probably would have found a cult audience. Would it be anywhere near the cult audience that it has now? No way. And that's sort of the double-edged sword of it being Halloween 3 and being the black sheep of that franchise and being so loathed back in the day that now, it is loved, it is accepted. A lot of those people who back in the day did not like the film, through, watching it over and over on cable and having the bare bones DVD or the VHS or whatever, have grown to, either like it or admire it or even, in my case, love it. I really can't imagine why you wouldn't like Halloween 3. It's just so much fun. It's just so out there. Everything about it I find just really attractive. And like I said, it's one of those movies I definitely reach for it and want to watch it more often than quite a few of the films that followed that Halloween storyline with Michael Myers. So if you haven't seen Halloween 3 and you're sort of on the fence and you're a little hesitant about it because it's the Michael Myers-less Halloween, forget that. Put all those preconceptions behind you. Watch it, buy it. It's really a very, very fun, entertaining, and overall just really wild movie. I really, really like it a lot. And watching it again recently, about a week or two ago, just by myself in the man cave, just watching it, like laughing and just having so much fun with it. And that was probably, God knows how many times I've seen that film. It just, I don't know, it kind of doesn't get old. Whereas a lot of the Halloween films do get old. Halloween 3 kind of doesn't. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. I highly, highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Leave your own thoughts and feelings about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch in the comments section below. Let me know what you guys think of it. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, whatever. But until next time, when I bring you guys my review of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, take it easy.